Hello and welcome to another episode of Soundbite. Today we're going to talk about Google and Yahoo's new email rules and how this will impact marketers in 2024. So if you haven't heard, Google and Yahoo made announcements that they're going to do more to protect their clients' inboxes from spam. And with that will come a set of changes that a lot of you may be following already, and a lot of them do comply with canned spam compliance, but just want to make sure we're ready for those changes to optimize email deliverability in 2024. So first thing is we always recommend using an email provider or a mass email provider for sending mass emails. We do see some people just open up their Google or Microsoft account and send mass emails out. Not only is that a violation of canned spam compliance, which technically there's legal implications there, but the other issue is that a lot of those emails won't get through. And if they were getting through before, with some of these changes coming up, they probably won't get through. So sending mass unsolicited emails using your email program, again, Google, Microsoft, definitely not advised. So first step is making sure you're using an email platform, something like MailChimp, Constant Contact, Salesforce, HubSpot, or the dozens of other reputable providers. You always want to make sure you're using one of those if you are sending mass emails. That in itself will help with deliverability for a few reasons. One is because they're going to put you on a shared IP address that's been vetted with the email recipient's providers. So those IP addresses are vetted, they're clean IP addresses, and the volume is so high that the recipient's email provider knows that these emails have at least been vetted for spam or unsolicited emails. So ultimately, being on a mass provider like MailChimp Constant Contact and having a shared IP address instantly raises your reputation. And then also, these providers will require that you have an unsubscribe link, which is another requirement for not only canned spam compliance, again, which is a legal implication, but also with what Google and Yahoo are looking for. So having an unsubscribe link, very important. So assuming you're on a third-party email service and that you're on a shared IP, which most of you would be, and you have these unsubscribe links, which you're required to, there is another part to the process. So that's only a piece of the puzzle. So the other part is that they want to make sure that you have the right domain validation in place. So you're sending through your domain, even though you're using MailChimp, Constant Contact, or another service. So what needs to happen is you need to validate certain records of your domain in order for the recipient's email server to recognize that the email is in fact coming from you. And if you've heard of things like email spoofing, that's really something where someone pretends to be using your email address, and these domain records will prevent against that. So ultimately what you want to do, and if you haven't made any adjustments to your domain when you're sending through a third-party sender, you really want to look into this because you should have been adjusting some of these domain records in order to use the third-party email service. The three in particular that you want to look at, and again, I don't want to get too technical. This is something you'll want to talk to either your web designer or marketing person about. But it's called, so one is the SPF record, SPF. The other is the DMARC record, DMARC. And the third is the DKIM record, DKIM. So those three records are domain-related records. They're specific to your domain, and there's certain values you need to put on those records in order to validate that you are who you say you are and you're sending through a third-party service. So by being on a reputable email platform, by being on a shared IP, by having an unsubscribed link, and by having the right domain records in place, you should maintain a high level of email deliverability in 2024. But if you are seeing any issues or you're not sure how to adjust those domain records, IMG is always here to help.